Tectonic plates, which are small, relatively rigid plates that are constantly shifting the surface of the Earth just a tiny bit, support the land masses of our planet. However, we must first realize that there are multiple layers to the Earth's crust before we can comprehend how earthquakes occur. Instead, the Earth's crust is made up of several plates that move past one another, collide, and slip past one another all the time. When these plates suddenly slip past one another, there may be a very noticeable trembling on the surface of the Earth due to this movement. Small earthquakes happen dozens of times each day without producing any issues, unlike large earthquakes, which can cause catastrophic damage and fatalities. Undoubtedly, the most well-known recent earthquakes were those that rocked Haiti in 2010 and Nepal in 2015. Both earthquakes claimed the lives of hundreds of people and destroyed numerous homes. The world's largest size seismic belt is the Ring of Fire, but earthquakes can happen everywhere, and most of the seismic activity probably takes place there. Each year, the number of earthquake-related fatalities decreases drastically as we continue to adapt and build our resilience. Secondary and occasionally even more destructive natural phenomena like tsunamis can also be caused by some tectonic activity. Droughts. Droughts are a little hard to identify because of their ambiguous nature. A lengthy period of drought occurs when drier than normal circumstances result in a water shortage or other issue with water. The phrase drier than normal is a bit vague though, because what we can call dry in one area might be very wet in another. Additionally, a specific location such as the Southeast Asian regions affected by the monsoon may see heavy rains in some months and light showers in others. Because of this, identifying the beginning and end of a drought is not always straightforward. To identify a drought, climate scientists often look for changes in the pattern of rainfall or low water levels in adjacent reservoirs and lakes. Other elements that can contribute to droughts include overuse and overcrowding. Famine is not solely caused by drought, though it does play a role. Famine often plagues less developed countries such as South Asia or Sub-Saharan Africa, but drought can strike any country. According to the World Meteorological Organization, the devastating African droughts of 1975, 1983, and 1984 are to blame for about 700,000 deaths that were recorded between 1970 and 2012. The worst drought to ever plague the United States occurred during the Dust Bowl era in the 1930s. The United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration estimated over 50 million acres of land were damaged by the Dust Bowl era drought. Landslides. An enormous volume of rock, debris, or dirt sliding down a slope is known as a landslide. Although this is a broad description, landslides include a variety of occurrences such as mudslides and rock slides. Several variables such as shifting water levels, seismic activity, erosion, disturbance from human activity, earthquakes, or a combination of these contribute to almost every landslide. Another type of landslide that occasionally causes tsunamis to devastate coastal populations is known as a submarine landslide. Unfortunately, landslides are very prevalent in some parts of the world. The more debris that slides, the greater the potential for catastrophic devastation. For instance, the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens caused the largest known and recorded landslide in American history. This landslide, estimated to have proceeded at a speed of 110 to 240 kilometers per hour, transported downslope more than 2.7 cubic kilometers of material. In 1920, China saw its deadliest landslide, which claimed 100,000 lives. Flash floods. When it comes to flash floods, according to the definition used in weather forecasting, they begin to happen 6 hours after a period of heavy rain or another water-related occurrence. Like regular floods, flash floods frequently accompany heavy storms. It's also true that flooding can occur rapidly in a location after cyclones and other weather-related catastrophes. However, flash floods are highly dangerous since they can happen where it hasn't rained yet. In the arid southwest of the United States, for instance, floods can happen in many locations when the weather is clear, particularly in confined canyons. This kind of sudden flooding, though it could potentially be caused by a malfunctioning or failing dam, is frequently attributed to rainstorm upstream. Due to the lack of obvious warning signs of these flash floods before they occur, they can be very dangerous for canyoners and hikers. Impact events. Asteroid impacts are one of the few natural events on our list caused by substances other than those found on Earth. Collisions between celestial bodies are also frequently referred to as asteroids. The kind of impact event that we are particularly interested in this instance is one in which a meteor strikes the Earth. Since these impacts can wreak a lot of destruction, it's a good thing that they rarely happen on Earth. For all of us in this world, both people and animals, that is great news. One of the very notable meteor occurrences was the 2013 Chelyabinsk meteor. The Chelyabinsk meteor is a meteor that pierced through the Earth's atmosphere over the Chelyabinsk Oblast region of Russia. However, the danger in this incident was the explosion itself, not the meteor's impact. Over 1,600 people were injured and many buildings were destroyed by the meteor's explosion. But there was also another massive impact from the Tunguska event, a previous impact event that took place in 1908. It is estimated that about 80 million trees were destroyed due to this asteroid's impact on what is now Krasnoyarsk Krai in Russia. Even though impact areas are rare, there is the worry that they could cause massive damage, harm, or even death. The sight of a massive boulder hurtling towards the Earth's surface is undeniably unsettling. Many space agencies, including NASA, are developing a system that will signal to us if a meteor is near, which is an interesting development. Lightning. Although strikingly magnificent, lightning is also quite hazardous and occurs regularly around the planet. Lightning is caused by a disruption in the electrical potential between thunderclouds and the Earth's surface. What exactly do I mean by this? In other words, when the Earth's surface heats up, so does the air above it. Water vapor cools and condenses as warm air rises, forming clouds. As the air climbs higher and higher, the cloud grows larger. Water vapor condenses into the ice near the tops of the clouds where temperatures are below freezing. These ice fragments collide, generating electricity. The cloud quickly becomes overcharged with electricity, resulting in a spark or explosion that we know as lightning. Typically, lightning hangs within the clouds, yet it can occasionally strike the ground. And this is where things can go wrong. The world's highest concentration of lightning strikes occurs over Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, where thunderstorms occur on approximately 298 days every year, resulting in an average of 233 lightning strikes each day. We can say that, as a result, being struck to death by lightning is extremely unusual. However, in 1807, lightning struck a gunpowder plant in Luxembourg, resulting in the most disastrous lightning strike in recorded history, killing about 300 people. Tsunamis. Tsunamis are massive waves caused by tectonic action, and they have long been a part of the human imagination. Earthquakes and undersea volcanic eruptions are the most prevalent causes of these waves, which can cause seismic waves to propagate across the ocean. Tsunamis do not resemble massive ocean waves like most of us think. Instead, they're massive water walls rushing rapidly up the coast, similar to a tidal wave. There is a tsunami risk whenever there is a geologic disruption to the seabed. The largest tsunamis, on the other hand, are linked to eruptive volcanic activity or massive earthquakes, such as the tsunami and the Indian Ocean earthquake that happened in 2004. The tsunami was triggered by a 9.1 magnitude earthquake in the center of the Indian Ocean. After about 30 minutes, the disturbance caused by the earthquake triggered the formation of a devastating tsunami in areas such as Sri Lanka and Sumatra. The tsunami was one of the worst natural disasters ever recorded, killing nearly 200,000 people in 14 countries. To warn inhabitants of potential danger, early warning detection systems and sirens have been placed in certain tsunami-prone locations. When a tsunami warning siren rings or you receive a warning, stop what you're doing immediately, move to higher ground, and stay there until the danger has passed. Volcanic eruptions. In nearly every country on Earth, volcanic activity takes place, and most times we don't find out about a volcano until it's actively erupting, and even then, it's often too late. An eruption is considered significant if it meets one of the following criteria. It killed people, caused by massive damage worth at least $1 million, had a volcanic explosivity index higher than 5, created a tsunami, or was linked to a large earthquake. Not all eruptions are volatile. Some are surprisingly calm, producing only a continuous stream of lava from their slopes. However, the Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980 is an example of the dangerously volatile one. Others, such as the 2010 Icelandic Eyjafjallajökull volcanic eruption, can still affect air travel due to airborne particles. Although the capacity to predict eruptions has increased, it is still far from precise and accurate. Scientists can now detect when a volcano is at risk of exploding, but it is hard to predict the exact time it will happen. Wildfires. The United States West Coast readies itself every year for a devastating wildfire season. Human activity combined with an extremely dry environment is the leading cause of forest fires in the United States. A spark, whether from a carelessly dropped cigarette or a bonfire, along with dry trees and winds, is all it takes for an explosion to go off. Wildfires are a common occurrence in the world's most arid locations, such as Australia and California, and are caused by natural ecological processes. Because lodgepole pine and eucalyptus are only two plant species that rely on flames for reproduction, fires can have some beneficial effects on ecosystems. In densely populated areas, wildfires can be highly destructive. These flames can spread swiftly and devour vast tracts of land in a few days. The Great Peshtigo Fire, which charred nearly 4 million acres and killed at least 1,500 people in northern Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula, is considered the most destructive wildfire in American history. Wildfires, on the other hand, can be caused by both natural and human factors. Whilst lightning strikes are among the most prevalent natural triggers of wildfires, unsupervised campfires, arson, and fallen power lines are also sources of human-caused wildfires. And that brings us to the end of this video. Have you experienced any of these dangerous phenomena? Let us know in the comments section. Remember to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to get notified when we post a new video.